Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, like I said, thank you so much, Charles, for hopping on this Zoom call with me. You're the Medicare, you're the man when it comes to Medicare, and we've been doing my system for only like what 2 or 3 weeks now.
Mhm.
Um, and you said, remind me last week, how many, like you said you closed like one or two last week?
Two, actually, I wrote two applications. Um, One guy, his mother's freaking out a little bit. Anyway, they're going to call me back on Wednesday, and I talked to Ty about it and just let him know that, hey, I'm licensed in the state of Wyoming, and check out my website, check out the Google reviews. The thing is, in Casper, is the dual special needs plan is brand new
Hmm.
to Natrona County and Casper, and so they're all kind of like scam, you know.
Hmm.
But no, I wrote two apps. I could have written three, but I anyway lost one that got off the hook.
Very cool. And how much were each of those worth to you, those two?
The one that I wrote, where in the heck is he? In Oklahoma. It was funny. I just got licensed in Oklahoma about a month ago, and so a call came in, and he was just having some issues with his prescription drug coverage, and I was able to take care of his immediate needs. That one's going to be about 200, and then if this one sticks in Casper, which I'm thinking it will, it'll be 675 if you count well, actually 275 for the one in Oklahoma and 675 for the one in Wyoming because he was on original Medicare and
Hmm.
Medicaid. And so if you count the health risk assessment with somebody brand new to either brand new to Medicare or they're just on original Medicare and you put them on a Medicare Advantage, you get a dual commission. You get
Hmm.
an initial commission and then you get a true up at the end of the month. So that's $875 or so or more.
Sweet, sweet. And are these at all like recurring commissions going forward, or is it just the one time up front?
Oh, heck yeah. Beginning in January, I'll start getting $25 a month per person. But that could be more because Medicare typically gives us a raise um, each year. When I started, we were getting $19 a month. Now we get 25.
Sweet, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's way cool. And you were telling me that when they called you, they kind of weren't looking to like they were kind of looking for something not quite, but you were able to kind of lead the conversation into getting a new plan with you.
They just needed help. One guy had an issue at his physical therapist office, said there my Medicare number is getting rejected. I need some help. He says, is this Medicare? Well, no, but I'm a licensed agent. What can I do for you? What kind of, how can I help? The other guy, what was it? Had issues at the pharmacy. And the reason why I close them, and some agents miss it, some agents go too fast and try to close the deal, and you don't have a relationship with these people. You're just another. You become a peddler
Hmm.
if you don't warm things up. Fix the problem first. You know, deal with their immediate needs. That communicates to them that they care, that you care. And then, like this guy in Casper, it turned out that he just had a duplicate Medicaid number. One became inactive, and he got another one in 2019, and he just didn't know all of that. And but anyway, we got it fixed. And then I also said, you're eligible for a lot of benefits that you're not getting, you're leaving on the table. Would you like to hear about that? Well, yeah. And I told him you can get $105 in groceries and healthy food every month. You can get 4,000, $3,000 to $4,000 of dental without any out of pocket cost. Is that something you'd be interested in? And so just play nice, don't get impatient, don't get in a hurry, and serve the client. and then they buy.
Love that. That's very cool. I love how, like you said, so I'm actually looking here, um, and to give you a little bit more insights of last week. So last week, your cost per, so like I said, we get these leads from your website using Google Ads, right? And
Okay.
just to kind of give you some insight on my side of things,
Okay.
so your cost per phone call is $18, right? So it looks like last week you had 7 phone calls, and 2 of them turned into clients. So that's a pretty good conversion rate there. Like I said, we
Mm-hmm.
want to shoot for that 10% conversion rate. So 2 out of 7 is definitely more than 10%. So great job. And um, the funny thing is their search terms. One of the calls you got was just somebody searching phone number for Molina Health. I don't know if that was one of the calls that you actually closed, but there's like
No.
basically all the search terms are kind of like all over the place. So you can tell that half the phone calls are just looking for help, and then the other half of the phone calls are just random sporadic calls that, just like you did, you turned into an actual sale just by like chatting with the guy, helping him out, answering his question, instead of, just like you said, instead of just jumping straight to, oh, sorry, you got the wrong number. You molded it into a relationship. So great job.
The guy in Oklahoma that had issues with the pharmacy, I called the pharmacy for him, got things straightened out, and he could tell that I genuinely cared about him. And I looked up the MA plans in his county or his zip code in Oklahoma. And I said, you know what? You're good on the plan that you're on. It's a good plan. But there's about 4 or 5 other Medicare Advantage plans that are there as well, that are sister plans. But I said, I really can't help you any further because I'm not your agent. So you have a choice to make. I said, you can either stay where you're at and I'm not going to be able to help you, or we can put you on another plan that is similar, that's also very good. And if you want to stay on it, great. If not, we can move you back. But that way, I will become your agent of record and can help you. You tell me what you want to do. Oh, man. No, no, I want you. What do we need to do? Well, I gained his trust because he knew I wasn't a peddler. I was there to help him.
That's awesome. Great job. And then the cool thing is your Google Ads account, like I said, the first 30 days is really like the learning period. And so the fact that you
Okay.
got like 2 in 1 week in the very first month, like that's awesome. So great job. And then looking at just strictly from a financial point of view, um,
Okay.
like I said, your cost per phone call is $18. Um, and so if you take your cost, do the math and figure out your cost per client, right now your cost per client is $60. So long story short, you paid $60 to get that $600 sale plus the future reoccurring, and then you paid
Okay.
$60 to make that 200 something dollar sale plus the future reoccurring. So
Okay.
like the return on the investment, like especially like I can't remember, it was like $600. Your return on investment was literally 1000% return on investment in the first month. If you can
I'll
find a
take it.
bank or a stock in the stock market that gives me that kind of return on investment, you let me know, because I'm going to put my whole life savings into that. But yeah, great job. And hopefully that guy stays with you a long time. And because I can tell that you do care, it definitely sounds like he will be. So great job.
That Melina one, that was funny. I wasn't able to help her because she wasn't on Medicare. But I said, how did you get my number? She says, I don't know. I just picked up my iPhone and said, hey, Siri, call Melina. And my phone rang.
Yeah, the
Just
Google
to
Ads.
confirm, you'd like to call Marlene DeMott?
Oh, now Siri's calling her. Yeah, Google Ads. There's a lot of um, Google Ads has a lot of different avenues. Everything from Siri to Google Search to Google Maps. There's so many different ways Google is integrated into so many different things that they could come from any of them. And I have the algorithm kind of looking for those opportunity in all different sources. One of the like I said, one of the other agents as part of Ty's thing, part of Ty's organization, said somebody was calling to, oh no, another client I had, they were specifically calling, trying to get a hold of a different company to help them with the service. And just like just like how she used Siri, this individual was trying to use Siri to call a different company, and they landed on the agent, and the agent, talked to them. They're like, oh yeah, you could use that company, and in fact, here's their phone number if you want to call them. But since you already, I know their wait time is about 2 hours, so while you're waiting for the, the especially during open enrollment and stuff, because this person, um, you know, anyway, so this client is like, I know, you're trying to call this big nationwide company. They might have, some call center that you're gonna get a hold of, or their wait time might be long, but I'm happy to help if you have any questions for me now. Like, but no hard feelings if you say no. They're like, yeah, sure, why not? And they ended up closing that person, and save them that terrible customer service or that wait time, because they were a caring
Good.
person. So
I can see that as you refine the key words and as things crank up, I've always had a good closing ratio, but I'm was talking to Ty about it, and I thought there's no reason why I couldn't get 10 applications a week with this. I don't think it's going to be hard. Ty was telling me that he had somebody call that had questions about auto, home, that type of insurance, and he looked up their number, gave it to him. He says, yeah, you can go ahead and give them a call, but I also help people with their Medicare. Have you had your Medicare reviewed lately? And Ty was able to turn it, on the lace. Oh yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that. So you just got to listen, and you got to think fast.
mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you only got one guy. I missed him on Friday, and I could have got him, but he called from Texas, and he said he called a toll-free number, an 877 number.
And he got to you.
He got me.
Oh yeah. So that 877 number, Google has like hundreds of thousands of phone numbers, and how they track the effectiveness of ads is they run the phone number through one of their tracking numbers, and then it forwards to your phone number. And so that wasn't actually a toll-free, that was just one of Google's tracking numbers.
Oh,
And
okay.
but yeah, there's just so many different opportunities, and just keeping your mind open. And like I said, the cool thing about this Google Ads thing and you working in so many different states is we can just search through all the states, Google's and the whole world. We can just search through all the states at all the same time to see who that day is searching, Medicare related, key phrases, and we just send them your way. And stuff like that. Like every phone call is an opportunity. Like in the perfect world, everybody would be like trying to call an expert, right? And that's what a lot of the bigger companies, those are the keywords they pay for, and they pay a lot of money for those. But us smaller guys, we can pay for some much cheaper keywords, like not pay hundreds of dollars per click, for some cheaper keywords if we are willing and able to kind of move the conversation into like what you just said.
Sure.
You want to chat about this other thing, So
yeah.
Love that.
I just thought of something. This one call from Fort Worth. The guy said, hey, I wanted to call. I've got my friend sitting here. He's got Medicare and Medicaid. He wanted to see if he could get a jitterbug phone. And that completely stumped me. And I masterminded with Ty about that. And he says, well, what we can do if that happens in the future is say, well, Medicare plans don't offer a jitterbug phone per se, but if he's eligible, which I believe he is, he can get like $200 worth of healthy food, which would free up $200, which he could go get that jitterbug phone.
Okay.
you know.
Love that.
And I tried to call the guy back, and oh, it was a good contact because he had the guy there that was dual eligible, and I just didn't think fast enough on my feet to have the answer. But
Mhm.
I'm ready for him next time.
Awesome. Yeah, I think you totally nailed it, right? Like as we we'll definitely refine the keywords as we go. To try and get you, so your cost per phone call, like I said, is $18 right now. And your cost per click is $2.46. As we keep refining, we'll get those numbers to keep dropping lower and lower, and then
Okay.
your sales script, like in your head, will keep getting better and better. Like that. If you
Yeah.
ever get the jitterbug phone question again, you'll automatically, be there ready
Yes.
for it. And
Yeah.
we see a lot of that is a lot of people looking like, hey, can like this like a scooter or a mattress or a chair lift thingy, are any of
Yeah.
these included in Medicare? We see a lot of those searches go through, and if you can take
Yes.
that jitterbug example and apply that to all the other ones, it would just be amazing.
Flex card is another one that is a big keyword. We don't have flex cards in Utah per se, but they do in other states. I think that's what Joe Namath uses in his marketing, because I get a lot of calls saying, well, hey, can I get that flex card? So that's another keyword. One other thing I wanted to ask you about is Google reviews, you said was very important. And so I've been talking with my clients, and I'm up to 17 right now, Google reviews. And so, but I am going to have my administrative assistant send out a drip campaign to say, hey, go to this. Here's my link. If you feel so inclined to leave a positive review, please do so. It helps my ranking when it comes to Google, and they're willing to do it. So,
Love that. Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I think the reason this system works is it always just comes down to, am I in line? Am I caller number 800 in some big company, or am I talking with a genuine person? And I think nothing says genuine person like those reviews. I'm part of a couple networking groups, and I've said a lot, I've taken my 30-second opportunity to say everything under the sun of why my company it would be helpful. But the day I got the most people come and ask me about my service was the day when
yeah,
somebody stood up and said, and gave a testimonial for my company. That testimonial and that 10-second testimonial did more than all my 1-minute
sure.
commercials combined. And those Google reviews definitely are that exact thing. And so if someone's
Okay.
ever like wondering about you, you could just send them the link to your reviews page on your website where they can just go through. And like I said, they're
Okay.
dynamically linked, and you've done a great job. 17 in 2 weeks. That's really good. So great job. And
And
then,
what I do too, go ahead.
oh no, you finished. I had a different thought.
Whenever like I mailed out a benefit highlight summary for this person in Wyoming today, went down to the mail post office. I included my business card, but I also included my QR code
Love it.
for him to go on to make it easy for him. So thank you for sending these cards to me.
Yeah, of course. And if you ever need more, let me know. I'll get some more printed for you. I know that one of my clients has his secretary right hand in her free time. Whenever she runs out of stuff to do, she just writes thank you cards to his clients, and then she just puts that in the thank you card and mails it off. That's
One
another.
thing that we do with our new clients is my administrative assistant has a really nice thank you card made up. And then she ordered a rubber stamp with black ink. And I had signed my name or printed my name, Charlie Jennings. And then she stamps the bottom of that thank you card so it looks personal. And then she zips that out.
I love that. Very cool. Cool. And then one other thing I wanted to mention, a few minutes ago, you had mentioned like you don't see any reason why you can't get 10 a month. And I completely agree with that.
No, 10 a week.
Oh, 10 a week. Sorry. 10 a week. Like you got 2 last week. and like I said, it's only, like I said, this is only our first month, so it's only going to get more optimized from there.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
Now it won't, obviously there will be a certain plateau of optimizations where, it's obviously never going to be 1 penny per phone call, obviously.
Yeah.
So it always comes down to, like I said, you paid $60 to get that sale. It always comes down to, was that a good use of your money? If yes, you do have the option to scaling up your daily budget. Right now, your
Yep.
daily budget is 20 a day, and that
Right.
20 a day converts into $60 clients. So, like I said, it just comes down to, are you willing to pay $60 per client? If yes, you can add more money into that
Sure.
$20 a day if you want to.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's how
Oh, heck yeah.
that mixed with the optimizations is how you could fall into that goal of 10 a week. Because, and the cool thing, um, the more money you put into it, the more expensive the leads get. Just one thing to keep in mind. But the cool thing with you, because you work in so many states and your net is so large, that increase in cost per lead is a lot slower than the typical local company, where if the local company doubles their budget, their lead
Mhm.
cost per lead might go up pretty fast, but because you're so many states, that increase will be a lot slower of a slope for you.
Okay, good.
So,
Good. Yeah, I think about it. If I do 40 a month, which is I think can be realistic, that's 480 a year. New clients that I'm going to get renewals on next year. Why wouldn't I start dumping more money into it?
yeah.
We make, the $25 a client on renewals. An agent that has 1,000 clients in renewal status, that's 25,000 a month. That is net income.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. I had another client who we worked with him for a little while, and he saw it was working pretty good for him. And then he said, okay, he says he threw his hands up. He's like, that's it. I don't care about, in the year 2022, I don't care about profit. I'm putting 100% of my profit back into his marketing each month. He's like, I'm not taking anything home. 100% of profit goes back into my Google Ads budget and my marketing. His
Mhm.
company, um, his company almost just barely didn't double in a single year, when he did that. Now, obviously, I don't suggest that. That's
Right.
not for everybody.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but it's just like the concept of, once you find something that works, you can kind of go for it more and more, until you. But there is a sweet spot. I will, if I could go
Okay.
back in time and suggest to that client, I wouldn't quite say 100% profit, because there was a sweet spot where you're, like I said, as the more you spend, the more your cost per lead is.
Yeah.
And we found that his
Optimized.
his sweet spot was about $80 a client. And we kind of, I think I would have capped it there and just rode that wave, and then focus on other lead sources from there. But there,
Okay.
you'll get to that sweet spot where it doesn't make sense anymore to spend any more money,
Yeah.
but you're still just
Okay.
bringing in, or maybe you're getting so many phone calls, or you can't keep up with the phone calls, you need to hire additional teammates. Like I said, in addition to all your other lead sources, this was never meant to be your one and only lead source, by any
Sure.
means, but just an addition to what you're already doing. So,
A key thing too I found is that you better answer your phone. And I'm getting these calls coming from places I don't recognize. And I was at a luncheon Friday. Now I got to take this call. And so, in fact, I'm going to be calling a lady in Oregon that she wants me to help her. I haven't determined yet whether or not she's on Medicare yet or not, but I've already built that relationship with her. That and that it's just the same thing over and over again. Build the relationship, service. Don't go for the kill. just take care of them first. But anyway, I've got another one that's pending. So I forgot what I was going to say.
No, I completely agree. Like that phone, answering your phone. I had
Oh yeah, yeah.
the conversion. I had two clients. They both got the same amount of leads in a month, but one client was struggling and one client was completely fine. And I just couldn't put my finger on it. What was the difference? Like they were both getting the same amount of leads. And I figured out that one guy's conversion rate was 5% and one guy's conversion rate was 25%. So this guy was literally getting 5 times as many new clients with the same budget, the same everything. But because his conversion rate was better, he was able to, 5 times his business or grow 5 times faster. And we figured out that there's a couple techniques you can do to increase your conversion rate. One is like a super solid follow-up process, right? If you don't close the person, do everything you can to close the person right then and there. But if you can't, for the next 7 days, you need to call, text, or email them every single day to follow up, because if it gets to day 7, basically the chances of you closing are a lot lower. And so he, like I said, he follows up every single day, in comparison to the other client who's only 5% conversion rate, and that helped him grow a lot better. He also texted whenever he called them. He also texted them first before he calls, because no one answers the robot. Yeah, I get 5 calls a day from robots. So what he does is, like, he says, "Hey," or he texts. He's like, "Hey, this is John again," or "Hey, this is Bob. I'm gonna, we talked yesterday about Medicare. I'm gonna give you a call in 5 minutes. I got a new idea for
That's
you."
great.
And so they're expecting
That's
your
great.
phone call. They can recognize the number a little bit more. They pick up, and that
Yeah.
also works really good when you get a lead that's a form fill versus a phone call. You have
Oh,
we figured out within 5 minutes of that form hitting your email, you should send them a text that says, "Hey, this is Charlie. I just got your form. I'll give you a call in 5 minutes to chat about what you're looking for." And that way,
okay.
that 5-minute response time and that text beforehand, that did wonders for the conversion rate. And that was one of the biggest differences between the two, because this client was calling them back within a week. This guy called them back within 5 minutes, and that difference made his company grow 5 times faster. And I
Sure.
think one
Sure.
last tip I want to share is, some people put those like pre-recorded messages on their phone, like, "I'm connecting you with so and so. This call may be recorded for quality assurance." We figured out that when people hear that, they instantly hang up, because it's really easy to hang up on a robot. We had one company that had 25% of his phone calls just hanging up before they ever got to talk to him. So what he did is he
Wow.
just deleted that message and he just said it himself. He's like, "Hey, this is Charles. Just, when we're talking, just so you know, it's pre-recorded." If you have to say that kind of stuff, which I know in the insurance world there is some hoops you need to jump through. If you do need to go through that stuff, say it in person. I know it's annoying, but that gets you 25% more phone calls. So, who wouldn't?
Yeah. What I do when I talk to people like in Omaha, when I get on the phone with them, I'll say, "Just so you know, Medicare requires that I record this conversation, but I'm not going to put that on a pre-recorded message. I'm going to tell them in the first 30 seconds that I'm alive talking to them, that this is recording. Hope you don't mind. And then also, we're required to play a recording saying that we don't offer all of the Medicare, the prescription drug plans in their market." But I just push a button on my CRM that plays that, and I've never had anybody that wasn't totally fine with it.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Cool. Love that. Well, cool. Any other tips you can give me or anyone watching this video in the future?
big thing is just don't get in a hurry. Just be nice and listen to them and try to help them. Don't go for the kill. Just be nice. People in their 60s and 70s and 80s, they're tired of people trying to pull a fast one over on them. I'm 65. Just be nice
Yeah.
and you'll close them.
Love
and
it.
they'll buy from you.
Love it.
So,
Love it. Well, cool. Thank you so much. Well, sweet. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording now.
okay.